What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, and we're back again today with everybody's favorite anonymous leaker in Roger Wardell after the mandatory 30-day cooling off period for one of his Twitter accounts, coming with some bombshells, including Wolverine in Black Panther 2. What's more, how Shuri's involved with giving him his costume, what the source of that material is, and a location that's been talked about extensively by another trusted industry insider and even reported on here at the channel. We're going to break down the entirety of this leak, although not long in length, definitely packed with a ton of information, how it'll lead to the introduction of Wolverine and eventually the X-Men, again via another leak we've reported on recently, and of course issue the normal spoiler warning. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So as I feel like we've been issuing basically every video here real recently, as we've been covering a ton of leaks, when it comes to Roger Wardell, his track record is pretty impeccable. This is the same guy who was nailing stuff about Avengers Endgame over 5 months in advance, including insane details like Fat Thor and the inclusion of a Hail Hydra cap recreating the elevator scene. Basically, when it comes to Roger Wardell, there's just a little bit more reverence than your normal anonymous leak. So if this is in any way going to ruin your Phase 4 experience and or the introduction of Wolverine via Black Panther 2, then you might want to back out now. Now, when I said this wasn't long in length, I was not kidding. Normally, Roger Wardell packs a ton of information into very short tweets, and I also made mention of this mandatory cooling off period. It was a slight joke in the prologue. It's because he always takes a couple of months off in between tweeting a ton in a row. This one coming after almost 30 days of silence. MCU is a way more dangerous place for Wolverine than you might think. Logan receives his combat nanosuit thanks to Shuri and Antarctic vibranium. Like I said, not long in length, but absolutely packed with detail, and some may choose to focus on the later part of this. There's one word in particular in this entire leak, though, that is much deeper than it may appear. Now, obviously, the inclusion of Logan in upcoming Black Panther would make headlines across all of the normal spots, and I'm assuming by tomorrow it definitely will. But the inclusion of the word Antarctic here opens up an entire different can of worms, or should I say can of dinosaurs, and via a trusted industry insider, friend of the channel, Mikey Sutton, who has dropped a ton of leaks here real recently about the upcoming inclusion of the X-Men, how they'll be introduced, and via Savage Land, which is located in no other place than, you guessed it, Antarctica. Now, fans of the 90s cartoon, even if you didn't get a chance to read the Uncanny Runs where this was a huge player, will remember a fond depiction of this prehistoric wildlife preserve. But to be clear, Mikey Sutton months and months ago was on top of this leak via Savage Land, the introduction of Sauron. We actually ran that full story here at the channel. I'll make sure to link that video at the end of this. This seeming corroboration from industry insider Roger Wardell, and months later they are completely different sources. It would follow that there would be an Antarctic preserve for things that might have been destroyed and or depleted over the millions of years here on Earth. Say maybe something like the heart-shaped herb that Killmonger destroyed almost in its entirety in Wakanda. Where could you go for a plant like that? If you remember specifically, it grew over the vibranium reserves that were located under Wakanda. It would follow that if it was hidden there from the rest of the world up until real modern times, if there's another completely hidden prehistoric reserve, there could also be Antarctic vibranium there. And although it's not canon, of course, in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra also had a base located in the Arctic. There could obviously be not only more heart-shaped bird, but maybe even a Wakandan outpost. And without thinking too far in advance and just working off of the hard details we have about Wakanda already in the MCU, they have the technology to cloak an entire location, city, even civilization. And if there were one like Savage Land in Antarctica with a backup resource of vibranium, they would have a motivation to be there, a clear narrative through line, not to mention their want to preserve and or hide their own Wakandan civilization from the rest of the world. It sort of makes a lot of sense. So this backup Antarctic vibranium, though, still doesn't answer why Logan would be in Black Panther 2, how he would end up there, but it sort of does beg the question, since this leak happens to put us in the Antarctic with Logan and Shuri and a nanotech suit, and now mentions this brand new Earth metal Antarctic vibranium, if that would indeed be the metal inside of his body instead of adamantium, as you have to imagine trying to ground this in realism. If you just keep coming up with magic metals that have been hidden here on Earth, it sort of turns into a trope that makes sense in the greater scheme in the ever-expanding cosmic universe, but obviously the number of things that can be sourced here on Earth again sort of is limited, and it follows that if this leak is true and we're going to meet Logan already as Wolverine receiving a nanotech suit from Shuri in Black Panther 2, then he already will have been experimented on, and if that's true, and vibranium had already been established in the Earth Marvel Cinematic Universe as the strongest black market metal that you can get, perhaps the Antarctic vibranium is what replaces adamantium that coats Wolverine's skeleton. Of course, I know this is going to make a lot of comic enthusiasts and or purists very upset, myself included. Obviously, adamantium is synonymous with Wolverine, but you got to think about it from a logical standpoint, and in everything I just mentioned, this seems to play a narrative that makes sense. And I remember a loose leak going back almost a year that Wolverine would pop up in Black Panther 2. When you take a step back and think about this, Marvel has to do this correctly, but also is in a situation, as I mentioned literally in a video a month ago, where things may have changed just a bit, but not as much as people may think. I was seeing it rumored that they may start to make movies like the X-Men film or Avengers 5 a lot more prominent in their plans based on the bottom line. But look at a league like this where they're subtly starting to work in important X-Men members in the movies that are upcoming in Marvel Phase 4. Again, we've had that really strong leak that we're going to see Omega Red, a very famous Wolverine villain, pop up in the very first Disney Plus series that should be released, in The Falcon in the Winter Soldier. They don't have to come out and say there's an X-Men film to be released in 2024. And when you look at the way that they're doing this, it's very reminiscent of how they treated the members of the Avengers in the Infinity Saga. Wolverine in Black Panther 2, Omega Red in The Falcon in the Winter Soldier. All of a sudden you have Psylocke popping up in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and before you know it, you have the first villain in the team already created in the MCU in just over the next couple of years. Don't buy into the rumor that all of a sudden Marvel and Disney have to push the X-Men and or Avengers 5 to the forefront just based on the bottom line. They're going to do that in a way that makes sense because they know it's what the fans want, but they're going to do it in a subtle way that doesn't ruin the quality of their storytelling. We're going to start to see the X-Men all over the place in the upcoming Marvel Phase 4 just as soon as they tackle what exactly a mutant is, how they were formed, why there's so many of them now on Earth when there hadn't been before, and how of course the snap and the blip comes into play, as we've already seen with the slight retcon of Wanda Maximoff's power already being latent inside of her but just unlocked with the experimentation of the Infinity Stone. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments, the extent of what you think about Wolverine and Black Panther 2 as a great place for him to show up. Does it follow that if there's a secondary vibranium, Antarctic vibranium, that it makes a little more sense than another special metal in adamantium just showing up? And how do you think they're going to explain his backstory if we're going to pick up with him already as Wolverine and already working alongside Shuri and Black Panther? Let me know all your thoughts down below, guys, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros. We're giving away 2 now at the 700,000 subscriber mark. We just announced a winner for the 650 sub count PS4 Pro a couple of days ago. If you missed that video, just scroll back through the channel. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video. That'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes we're giving away here at the channel, like this insane XM Studios 1/4 scale Beta Ray build. This will be given away at the 650,000 subscriber count. And guys, if you're not familiar with collectibles, this is in no way an action figure. Standing at almost 29 inches tall, these are immaculate 1/4 representations of some of your favorite Marvel characters. XM Studios is by far one of the best in the business. If you're not familiar with this statue, I've left a link down in the description over on Gem Mint Collectibles. Gem's a friend of mine. We acquired this statue through the Gem Mint Collectibles store. He actually did a full in-depth breakdown of this statue. So if you want to see this prize in much further detail, go ahead and click on that link. Like I said, it's down in the description. Also, make sure to follow his channel while you're over there and show Jem some love. Either way, if you want to be entered to win any of the prizes here at the channel, the PlayStation 4 Pros, the Beta Ray Bill statue, or any of the other prizes we announce, hopefully as we double down all the way up to 1 million over the next couple of years, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on. Leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, just like we're doing here. And if you've missed any of the past winners, especially here real recently, as I said, we just gave away a PlayStation 4 Pro at 650K. No worries, all you have to do is scroll back through the channel, look for the subscriber count and the winner in the title, click on that video, and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always, guys. Thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.